this gift.
No, but I mean, I think, one thing that I see, and now specifically with us being on Instagram and like sharing a part of our life, there's a lot of things that I see that Sandra shares or I shared and stuff that when I was in very bad relationships, I thought is people faking it, bragging, faking ideal things, because you're so far away from that. You think that's not real. You think that can be. Now being in a relationship that I'm in love and I'm happy and it's stable and like nothing happens and that's good, I've realized how much of a hater I was of like real love just because I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was real.
And that's tragic to hear.
I think I've told you that before. Like, I think at our wedding, I was like, I never thought that I was gonna find, a love like this or a partner, where you feel safe or that it's gonna last, and
or where you just feel free. You don't feel like bound.
Yeah.
Everybody says you get like you hitched, and now you're like, you're hitched for life, but really it's the opposite of that. Yeah, you're with with someone. Yeah,
at least.
But for me, it just feels more, I guess, liberating. You don't have to find. I look forward to coming home and having someone to be able to open up to and talk to. To me, that's freeing because you live most of your life holding the vast majority of things in and not sharing those things because you have these trust issues from relationships and stuff like that. So it's less being hitched and tied down. Like the people will say, "Are you getting married? Are you getting tied down?" No, I'm actually like freeing myself is what I'm actually doing.
Exactly.
I've got someone.
I think I always thought that with the bachelor party or the bachelor's party, it's like, just like the last night that you're gonna get to like have fun, and it's like that's just such a depressing. I mean, neither of us did that, but because I thought it was such a depressing way to look at it. Like, I'm gonna knock myself. No, so let me just go crazy, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it is kind of depressing. I never thought about that. The bachelor or bachelorette party, like this is the last time
that I'm gonna be free and single and all of these great things.
Yeah,
supposedly.
And, I think you probably look at statistics. The most depressing people. The most depressing people are probably single. Yeah.
Yeah. Adam, we always say like now looking around, and like Tinder and all this stuff, and we always say, man, if we were to like divorce now, damn. Start dating again?
I wouldn't. Honestly, I don't think that I would.
Yeah.
No, same for me.
It looks like so much work.
I've always said that wherever I will move like right below you, and that's it. Not saying that we get back together or anything, but like you're not gonna go anywhere. It's like I'm like, hey, I'm always here.
Like that girlfriend that you couldn't get rid of. that you said no, and she said yes.
We're gonna divorce. No.
No. Not signing any papers.
I'm here with you.
Okay. So, talking about love, and since we already got a little bit mushy about how much we feel like a blessing to each other, some more than others.
Well, hey.
No, I'm thankful every day. Thankful. Me too. Every day. ¿A dónde va?
Papi,
Tomás Oak? I told you have to stay over there.
If you're gonna stay here, Tomás, if you're gonna stay here, you have to be super, super, super quiet.
Quiet time.
All right? Thanks, big man.
¿Puedes ir allí, por favor?
Nora just fell asleep, so here. So we have one less problem right now.
But yeah, so what would you say is the thing that you love the most about each other? What are the things that made you go like, "Ooh, gotta be this person"?
I think for me, the very first time I saw her, it's still my favorite thing. When she can look at me and have this big smile. The first time we met,
at a party,
we were at this little party, knock on the door comes. I go to the door and open up the door, and she's standing right there. And I don't know, it can't be the light. I've ran through this scenario so many times in my head. It was like a movie. There's this light beside the door, and it's an apartment, so it's like shining right down on her. It's like she's this angel standing there. I think she knew who I was immediately, but I don't think she liked me. I think she probably.
I don't know if I liked you. It was just someone. And then it wasn't. This guy, you were nice and all of that, but it wasn't until later.
I was nice and she was beautiful.
Oh, it's funny. Like you saw, like, there's like these angels. You were nice and all of that, and like
I can be nice. Like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
That's probably still one of my favorite things is whenever I come in the door, like I come home for lunch every day. And then, of course I come home after work every day. And every day, every day, she still kind of greets me with this really big smile. And it's like the smile she's got right now, even like, before we were actually like physically dating, I saw her on Instagram and I would always like to watch her, the word of the day or the stories. And I could just because to see this freaking smile, like it just, I don't know, it made me happy to see the smile. It's probably one of my favorite things.
That's so
look,
that's so
right
cute. And you, Sandra?
I always say like that what I really like, this is funny, so I really, really like his brain. But now it's like, hey, I always said that I really like your brain.
Yeah.
But we don't like that thing that you have inside that brain.
But like not this part.
Now it's like,
except for that part.
It's like a la carte, you know what I mean? It's like, I want no mustard but ketchup and tomato and lettuce. No lettuce, but no onions.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Like the thinking.
That stupid thing there. But the thinking part. Yeah, no, I really like the way he expresses or knows how to express how he feels and how to communicate with people, how to be the mediator between people. And he has a way with words. So
I'm a poet, Andrew.
Oh, being a poet is super urgent. Like
you gotta get over here now.
I really like that, and the way he is, towards me, and how he is always like expressing love. I appreciate that. So I think that is probably my favorite. Love you.
Love you.
I have to say, last night I was reading, the script, and I was reading this question, and there's something that I thought that it will be cool, and like how we, since we know each other, particularly Sandra and I have developed a friendship, and I thought like something that will be cool is to see how we perceive each other's relationship from outside, because I think we know each other very well, and Sandra and I have shared a lot. The first time I heard about you, Chris, Sandra and I were on the phone for like 2 hours talking. And I was amazed. Like, she was not only so in love, the way she was talking about you, the relationship, and how she felt. It was someone that had, how they say that what you need for a relationship to be successful is to, ¿cómo se dice en inglés?
I love you, but you're talking to the wrong person.
Sí, I know.
En español.
En español es que admiras a una persona. Like, you admire someone. Like, if you admire the person that you're next to you, then you're good for life. And like the way she spoke about you was like admiration. The admiration that she had for your core. The person that you were, no? And like then she was telling me like, oh, so he's divorced, and like he has kids, and he had health issues and all that, and I was like, I will be shitting in my pants, man. And I saw that, and I was like, well, yeah. At first, I'm no one to tell someone that you're married too fast, because I married like in a blink of an eye, and we were super fast, just like you guys. But I thought like they are gonna, no matter what, they're gonna make it. This could be such a difficult situation, and like I think it was anyone that wasn't Sandra and I had not heard that, I would say you might want to think about this twice. But I heard her and I thought, do whatever you need to do to make this happen. And and I told recently to Sandra, like, man, Chris has like golden balls, dude. Has some balls of iron, And I.
It's great. He's Captain America.
Thanks, Captain America. That makes sense. And same with Sandra. And I think that, I told you many times, like, girl, I'm amazed by you guys, but not because of what you're going through, but like the love that you have. It's so real. It makes me feel in company with this, like someone that understands being hopeful that like life works out,
I appreciate
cheers to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for saying that too, because she tells me, and I believe everything she says, but hearing it, I think was it called like the reassurance or not necessarily reassurance, but when someone else repeats it back to you, you know, you don't necessarily need it, but when you hear it, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like going back to the candy or getting the rose or whatever. You don't necessarily want it, but when you get it, it's like, wow, that's a really big, that's important. It's probably the biggest compliment I've gotten. You know, just hearing it from somebody else. And and you know, on the flip side of that, after meeting you guys and seeing you guys and following you guys on Instagram, you guys are so genuine. You know? Like your relationship is so very organic. It fits together like a glove. Like, not that you were missing one portion that Adam fulfills or vice versa, but when I see you guys interacting together, it's like you move together. It's like it's almost like a dance and you're not dancing.
It's like amazing, an amazing, like, best friends, like the best.
Yeah, like you're really married to your best friend. It's kind of that's, you know, a good thought.
That's what I see.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for that too. It's fantastic.
For sure.
But what is what you like the most about the other?
Well, there's two things. Her eyes. I have always said that. I don't know what it is, like just the color and the piercing look that I always get, but I love it all the time. The first time that I met her, well, let's go with the second time. The first time was a little bit different, but the second time that I met her that day, that was the same thing. I saw her, I was like, okay. And also just her very snappy personality. I'm as you know, I'm the opposite, and I don't have the snappy personality, but like she does, and I love this. I just love it. Ever since I met her, since
what is snappy?
No, like you're very like you're on it.
Es que el pronto, como el pronto que tiene, así como venga, venga, pam, pam, pam.
You want to watch Finding Nemo?
Nemo himself, I don't know where he is.
I want to find Nemo.
You want to watch Finding Nemo?
You want to watch it? I want to find. Okay, go find him. Se llama Nemo, no menos. Okay, you have to find him. Go find him. For me, well, first he was hot. No, but then the thing is that I was very scared at the beginning, and that's why I didn't answer him for a year and a half and stuff. But then his heart was so pure. With me, he opened so much. We could talk about everything, and like I have always said, Adam is such a much better person than I am. Sitting next to someone that is such a good person, it makes you so much better because you're always trying to match that, but it's so difficult. And also, he had zero fear. Adam had zero fear to commitment. And he was so sure. Like, he told me, and the first time I came to see him to New York, he was like, oh, I already know I'm going to marry you. And I was like,
okay.
And we were like, we had been drinking and went out and stuff. And the next morning I was like, hey, wasn't that funny what you said last night when you were drunk? And he goes, no, I mean, I actually...
It's going to happen.
No, I'm serious. I have the suitcase right here. I'm going to put you in.
Yeah, he was like, sure, body bag, you know? And I was like, wow, okay, this person sees something in me that I thought I didn't deserve. You know what I mean? Like, I'm forever gonna be the one friend in my group of friends that had the crazy relationship and that like was always like in these very crazy situations and stuff. And it's like, no, you deserve this kind of love. You deserve someone that is like that cares about you, that is not trying to play any games with you, that puts up with all the shit that you brought with you in the luggage. And like, I brought with me crazy ways to have arguments, jealousy, things like that. And like, he just patiently sat with that luggage and started slowly at my pace, taking things out.
That's awesome.
And the way I see it with Adam is like, I knew this is it. I am willing to give up everything that I've built for myself for this, because this is like a once in a lifetime person, you know?
Yeah.
And I always think, even if something crazy happened and we didn't end up together, I will end up being possible. It's impossible. You ain't going nowhere. I will end up being a such much better person than I was, just because he was in my life. And that is awesome. Like, just the fact that like I never feel like not talking to him. I never feel like, you know, when you're dating someone and you're sitting on the couch with them and you think, I'd rather be anywhere else in the world, literally, rather than here. I mean, I've been there. I don't know if you have been there, but like I've been there. With Adam, it's like it's the first time I ever felt like, we have a saying in Spanish that is like, I will want to be with you even if we live under a bridge. ¿No? O sea, aunque fuéramos pobres, aunque viviéramos debajo de un puente. It was the first time in my life, in 30 years, that I felt like even if we were poor as rats, as long as he would be next to me, as long as he could hug me at night, it will be fine. I don't care what's going to happen, and I don't know what the future holds, but as long as he's there, and I think that for a lot of people, it's kind of surreal or like you're exaggerating or whatever, but when you really feel it, honestly, I am thankful and grateful for this relationship every morning and every night. Yeah. Even when I like kill you. Yeah. I'm not gonna kill you, man. Like
I can completely relate with all of what you said. Because of my health situation, knowing that someone who knew that would still want to be a part of that baggage. To me,
but it's a life story. It's not a baggage, it's life story.
Yeah, it's right. So I mean, to have someone that
it's part of it.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, she willingly entered a relationship knowing some of the things that were going on. And at first, like for me, I was like, man, it's just I was kind of doing some dating, and it was like leading nowhere. But she was like the first that kind of knew the whole story. And knew everything and still wanted to be there. And I was like, okay, I think Sandra's going to be the one that I'll end up being with. Like you said, if we're under a bridge, we're under a bridge. It doesn't matter, but we'll be together for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I brought the crazy out real fast, and she didn't. Well, that's not true. 1.5 years of not talking. But in reality, the crazy was still there, and she didn't say no. So that was something that was very big.
I mean, when we started dating, I was working in Dubai, and he was living in a mattress on the floor of his brother's apartment. Like, that's how different our lives were. Yeah. And he didn't care about my story. I didn't care about his story. Like, he's removing the whole story out of each other. Yeah, it was a non-issue. I had never experienced that, and like, I think that's so cool.
I think that was the same for me. Yeah.
And Chris, I wanted to ask you. So you had experienced marriage before, and you divorced. For someone that had that commitment before and then had to come to the realization that this is not working, how do you approach marriage a second time? How do you believe again?
I think you're probably pretty guarded. I was pretty guarded. Yeah, my first marriage didn't end. I guess it ended in an affair on her part, and which was what split us apart. I think then
makes sense on the other
hand. Then for me it was pretty easy to kind of go my own way.
Yeah.
And just start. But what it made me do is it made me really paranoid of anybody that I dealt with. It made me think about things that I never really thought about, because at that point in time in that marriage, life couldn't have gotten any better. I owned my own business. There was really no fights or complaints or nothing. And then all of a sudden one day, it's just, what the hell is going on? Like your whole world like literally turned upside down. I thought it was like I was living this, I guess, this delusion of this great life, So it made me really a cynic of just everything. I didn't trust anything. Didn't trust anybody. It made me super quiet and just being a real observer of everyone around me. I think it also made me really judgmental. And I think, later on, I started to recognize those patterns that I'd fallen into. And really until, Sandra and I got together, I was able to work on them, because she would bring these portions out of me that I could then recognize and say, you know what, I've got this much into it, and I'm vested in this relationship. But of this argument that we're having, this is the portion that I own of that, only because she allowed me to reflect back on that. And then I was able to, work on that myself. And then, I don't want to speak for her, but I think, me, I'm pretty hard nosed, and I've got an opinion. I'm going to let you know how I feel about it. I think that kind of made her do the same thing on some of the things that she was probably working on. And it ended up kind of ensuring that we were doing the right thing, because we both recognize that we're both working on things, and they might be different, but we're both working on them for ourselves to be better for each other.
Yeah. I am breastfeeding. So this is real life.
So what about now with kids? Romance has changed. We have what I'm gonna say this, and you can beep me. So we call Thomas, and now Matthias as well, we call them Adam's because because they can smell. Like they can smell the second that we are like a little closer. It's like, you're touching my mom? Like
exactly.
Oh, my wife. What, you kissing? Don't kiss.
Yeah.
So romance has changed.
Yeah.
Has changed. It's a
I think we feel good if we can get in bed at night and I can throw a leg close to her and she can throw a leg close to me and we can kind of rub our feet together. Man, that's like the best part.
It's like you're all the way back in middle school. Like, wow, we're holding hands.
Oh, we're touching legs.
Ooh.
Second base.
That's become new second base. If we can get a kiss in, and I swear Nora is the same way. Like if I get too close to Sandra and I start kissing her or something, like maybe on her neck, she reaches immediately over. She's like, she's
fine still. But like we actually try to kiss a lot and everything, so that it's natural and normal. But I don't think she's.
But with someone saying no.
Yeah. She hasn't done that yet, though.
No, you'll get
maybe later.
Jamas had that phase last year, right? Where it would be funny, we would hug and he would literally come between us and just push
separate you.
No.
Yeah.
No, mommy, no.
Separate from like just kissing and hugging.
We have some
Let's just stop what you're doing.
TV.
Yeah. Like let's stop this thing that you're doing because I don't like it.
So is he trying to is he more? Is it out of a jealousy? Like don't get near my mom or don't get near my dad.
It's
me.
Yeah. It's with me.
Yeah, I feel like with Nora, it's probably going to be the same way with Sandra too. I'm at work all day, so she's the person that's with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right now, what we try to do is I'll kiss Nora like on the forehead, and then I'll kiss Sandra, then I'll kiss Nora, and I'll kiss Sandra. So like I'm trying to, I guess maybe try to normalize it a little bit, so it's not so weird whenever she starts processing.
We did that.
You're shaking.
We did that, and then eventually they are like, no.
Still no.
It's gonna be a no for you, man. You're not. Yeah. You have no game for the next few years. Okay,
shut it right down.
I will call this kid a miracle. Essentially, the second one was a miracle.
You don't even know how it happened.
No, but I think that you look at romance in a different way, like that way of like just him making tea for me at night, just small things.
Putting the coffee pot out in the morning.
Yeah, you're right. It does change.
It's just different actions that you do for each other. Yeah, for sure.
Or like yesterday we had lunch and both of them were asleep and we were like, man, we get to talk and we found out we both like the same TV show, but we had never said that in 7 years. Yeah. Like, you like Scrubs? I like Scrubs too.
like you're dating ever again.
Yeah, but we're like saying that like not too loud because you don't want to wake up either of them. And, like we left the place, Tomas woke up and stuff, and then we're back in it. We say it felt like a date, like a whole hour with nobody, just a huge stroller. But other than that, it was very cute.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to look at it. You are sharing your time. Mm-hmm. It is another person you're trying to share that time with, and navigating that is tough. So it is like, you're right. It is those little things, putting the coffee pot out or, Sandra cooks lunch every day. To me, that's like the best thing.
Most days.
She does a really, really good job of trying to make something really good for lunch.
That's right.
And then when I get here and she's actually asleep, we're the same way. We're sitting across from each other like, how's your day? It's really good.
Gracias, mi amor. Who's that? That is Sandra. Esa es Sandra y es Chris. Y papi, sí. El brother.
Papi.
That was one of the most romantic things he has done for me is that we were traveling and I forgot my contacts lens case and he said, you can use mine, and he put his in the tops and he left me the actual case to put it, and I went to the bathroom and he's like, I left it there for you, and I thought he would have left me the actual tops, but no, he left me the case,
the lid,
like,
the bottom,
the lids,
and I was like,
that's the most romantic thing.
Oh, like it is very well. I thought it was very romantic. Or like the other day, he sang me a song. We have a Spotify
playlist,
and he makes a playlist for me of like he finds songs that make him feel about me, and he puts them there, so I listen to them.
Oh, that's nice. That's really cool. Adam raising the game, man. I have to take some of your tricks.
Yeah.
I just playlists. I just always remember CDs were a thing, so I was like, hey, now we don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So
The mixtapes, right?
Mixtapes and CDs, Instead of, I don't do that, but if I remember a song that we,
send it to each other.
Time ago, like special little moments. You have these moments that you remember back before, you had kids, where you could be romantic, and then you could, at least think back about the times and kind of reminisce or kind of get nostalgic about it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's why I put the playlist, just because I know if I keep sending her, I just would forget to send songs. So I was like, you know what? I'll just put the playlist together. Just like everyone will add, just like every time something comes up, I'll just keep adding it. So there's always just more and more and more.
Okay, so since you're both married to Spanish women, have you noticed any difference between being in a relationship with Spanish people, Spanish girls or women, and American?
Me? All right, I'll go first. You expect... The funny thing is, my dad is from Ireland, like born and raised. He moved over here when he was 18 or 19. If you know anything about Irish people, they have no emotion. None. Okay. And my mom is from Queens, but my grandparents are from Ecuador. And down there, they also, they do have more emotion. A lot more than Irish people. But I still think, from what I understand, compared to other people from South America, not as much.
Yeah, more quiet. Yeah.
They're quieter. So that's me. Emotion, I don't know what it is. I've been figuring that out the last few years. So the thing that, to me, the biggest thing is passion. That's like passion for everything. It's like, if you're not passionate, then you're not living. It's like, I don't know what that means.
What is it? You don't have blood in your veins, right?
No tiene sangre en la vena.
No. I don't know. I do.
I think my friends.
But like, to me, I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I can't think of, and also you just have a better understanding of people.
Yeah.
And
that's not everybody though.
Well, it's not everybody, but it's still more than I do. But I think compared to probably the majority of the American girls from the American girls that I dated, also you have a better understanding of people, just like people's temperament, and just looking at a person, be like, yeah, this person's not going to be something, like, because over here we're just like, yeah, it's okay, like, we'll be here,
here, because everyone is very controlling their lines, What about you, Chris?
I would agree. Like, the passion was something I had to get used to. I didn't realize I was as passionate as I am, but I'm pretty passionate.
We are both very passionate, though.
When we both have an opinion, that's probably when we get at it the hardest. Like, that's probably when we compete. All right, when competition, I don't think in a relationship is ever good. We want to compliment instead of compete. But when we feel the blood in our veins, we feel the blood in our veins, and she matches that. So that vibe from her, that's the first time I've kind of I've noticed, most people here, or most girls I've dated or been with, they didn't have very much blood in their veins. That's probably one of the biggest things. What else? She will always tell me exactly what she's thinking. I don't know if Andrea is the same way. But like, there's typically never.
That's why we have a podcast.
There's typically, I typically never have to guess what she's thinking, because
you can see it in my face. I can see
it all over her face, and she's like,
open book.
What are you talking about? And I'm like, I can see it on your face. She's like, I'm not making a face.
Like, be more specific. What are you trying to say? Like,
exactly that face right there. So I know exactly when I need to explain a little bit more, when I don't need to explain a little bit more. But there's something culturally, I think it's a little bit deeper than that too. I feel like the understanding of how people think is one thing, but there's like an understanding of how the world operates. I feel like something different, more than, it's not superficial. It's just not like face value, like a lot of people that you meet here, it's like either you're good looking or you're not, or you got a lot of money or you don't, or it's like one of these things. And that's why, kind of going back to if we separated now, would you go back to dating? There's like, I don't know. I don't think I could, I just only because, it'd have to be, maybe I'd have to move to Spain to go date to somebody.
No.
No. Not in our country, eh?
No, you're not going.
No. No, stay here with your people.
But with your people. But for me, I appreciate being, like, my job maybe has programmed me this way to just give me the straightforward. Like, what's the deal? What's going on? And Sandra, I can always count on that. I think even going to Spain and meeting a lot of people there, I've always gotten that straightforward. This is how it is. Even though some of the culture shocks, my first time being in Spain and eating dinner with everybody was hilarious. It kind of freaked me out, but it took me back for a minute. But then now, we've been together longer and longer. I'm starting to understand the culture and just appreciate it a lot more.
To me, that's the thing with the passion. Like, I remember the first time going over there and meeting a bunch of your family. Everybody, I was like, why is everybody arguing?
Yes,
no, exactly. Nobody's arguing.
No, they're not arguing.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
No, that's what I mean. It's the same. Like, everybody just speaks so passionately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think again because I'm from here, and also the two sides of my blood are very not that way.
Yeah.
Or Irish people, it's just a very different thing.
Yeah.
It's just not. I was just like, I don't know what's going on, and that's why I'm kind of like I was sitting there all the time, like.
My family was like, what's wrong with him?
Why is he doesn't talk?
This is no kidding. I'm sitting at this table, and I don't know how many people are there. There's probably 10 or 15 people there, and I'm in the middle, and like family all the way across, family all the way down, and her brother's girlfriend. Yeah, her brother's girlfriend and her dad. She's standing up and like finger going, and he's standing, and they're going back and forth. I'm like, oh damn, they're about to get a fight. let me eat this paella before it gets to it. Can I have some more paella, please?
I'll take it now before the plates fly. But it's kind of funny because when we started dating, this was something that was hard for me because when we will have an argument, Adam will shut up. Like,
I would shut down, not shut up.
Yeah, shut
no,
down.
but you will also shut up. And what happened is like I will tell him, say something, and he's like, I'm thinking about
what I'm gonna say,
what you're saying, and I'm like, you've been quiet for 3 minutes. I'm about to crash a wall. Te mato aquí. And he will always tell me, I'm thinking about what you're saying, and I am thinking about what I want to say next. Is no puedo.
You need a response right now.
Oh my God, I was like going insane, like, that's how I used to be.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He told me a lot, and like, I don't take 3 minutes to think what I have to say, but it was at the beginning, it was like such a clash because I will be like say something, say whatever, but say something, I swear to God. And like, he will be like, I'm thinking what you're saying. And I was like, I think that you're just unplugging, man. Like, and like, sometimes he was unplugged. I was like hard unplugged, he still does. But it has been like a process of like, okay, I'm never going to bring this guy to my level of passion. And he's never going to bring me to his level of like mild politeness, good news for all American thing. So we're like,
still finding the way.
Yeah, we're still like, now we have learned that like you have to be in a good place to actually get somewhere in an argument. Yeah. You got
to be able to receive what the other person's saying.
Therapy, dude.
Yep.
See.
What I found in our relationship was, because I was pretty diplomatic as well. She would say something and I'd have to think about, like, give me a second and think about it. And she was the same way. She's like thinking I'm, mad, but I'm really just trying to process it. It wasn't until, not long ago when she was asking me for something or she said something, and I think it's just communication and a misunderstanding. And so misunderstanding is like a broad statement, but literally I didn't understand what she was saying. Like,
we've been there many times.
Just literally, I said, instead of just saying, hey, I don't understand what you're saying. And, you can kind of take that at face value, right? But I literally, like, what she was saying, I had no clue what she was saying. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
And she's like,
yeah. Repeat it like, again and again.
Yeah. Slow down for a second. Oh, you said this, and I thought you said that. And so, I mean, even like, what was it last night? She said something, and I responded, and she responded like with the same answer that I had. And I'm like, do you understand what I'm saying? But
I didn't, and I was like, I just didn't understand the end of the sentence. Yeah. So I needed him to repeat something.
Yeah.
But then he repeated it like I was like silly or something, and I'm like, No, I just literally didn't hear like what you said, so I just need to know what words you said. That's it. Like
that's a very dangerous place, because if it gets you in the wrong moment, you're like, what are you, stupid or something? Like,
yeah. And I think for the vast majority of our disagreements or arguments or whatever, we could probably relate that back to just not understanding what the other person said. But I think that's probably the biggest thing. It's that.
And also being in a relationship when you're always not talking in your first language is very draining. I always tell Sandra, like, my brain eventually at some point of the night is like, it can't say one more thing in English. Like, it just simply can't. My brain is like, it's no more. That's the tricky part. But hey, we never get bored in these relationships.
That's exactly right. And I think it just makes it stronger too, especially if you can take the time for a second and say, hold on a second. Mine is just not understanding what she's saying, like the words. I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. I can't remember where that came from. But
I think it also reminds you to work on the relationship, because you can't
take it for granted.
No. Yeah. So you just you're forced to work on the relationship, because the hell else are you gonna do? Kind of like it's an extra effort on both ends. Yeah. And it like keeps you there, keep on going. Present. Yeah. Being present, exactly. We have a little game to end. We can say who's more likely to.
Kind of like the game that people do, that they point fingers at each other. Like, who's more likely to. Who's more likely to drown at the beach?
To drown.
So who's more likely to drown on the sea?
In a pool.
Adam. Yeah.
And you guys?
Definitely me.
It's him, like, yeah.
I'm like a rock in the water, man. Just relax. I'm relaxing.
He's like, I'm not floating. It's like, everybody floats. Like,
everybody.
Yeah. That's literally what we say.
We have the calmest pool here. There's only Sandra and I in this pool, and I will drown and die in this pool if I just try to float.
Because you don't relax.
No, it's only 5 feet deep.
Who's more likely to put the diaper backwards?
I'm
gonna say,
basura de persona.
Basura de persona.
You guys?
Pues tú.
Yes. I put 1,000 diapers on before.
Sí, claro. I put a few more.
I've got 3 kids.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
No, you were working and doing other things.
No, I'm a pro.
Venga, you choose something.
Who's more likely to get in a vehicle accident?
I was thinking about vehicles too.
Who's a what?
Get into an accident?
Who's more likely to get into an accident?
He got in forces. I know him. Like, it wasn't his fault, but still, it was him.
It wasn't his fault, but it was still him.
Yeah, no, none of them were. None of them were my fault.
No.
but every time.
And that's the weirdest part is the last one I had before we got together was when I was 18.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm from 18 until now, and now it's all just like all of them at one time.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
What about you?
I would say
I've gotten in.
You?
I rear-ended someone in traffic one time, and
me too. So I think we're equal. But who's more likely to?
Probably you.
Probably you.
I'm gonna definitely go with you.
I'm gonna go with you because you go faster.
Adam is also fast. He goes faster than me.
Yeah, city driving.
That's what I blame it on.
Who is more likely to finish something and put the empty thing back in the fridge?
Me, all the way.
It's just so annoying.
Wait,
you go to grab something and you open it.
No,
and
you
it's
finish it
and put it in its place.
No. We got it wrong. I think.
No,
not finish something. No. That something is empty and done and finished, and it needs to be thrown out into the trash.
Yep.
And you put it back in the fridge.
Oh.
Empty.
Oh, that's definitely
me.
Yeah, that's definitely
No,
yeah.
Me. Like it's so annoying when the milk and it's like
there's like a little drop left for you.
I can't do nothing with that drop. Like literally nothing. And like I open a cheese or something, it's like
one cheese left.
But he will leave this teeny tiny bit, so he doesn't have to throw it. It's a
bite.
Sandra, that is a horrible thing to do.
It's for you.
I just put everything back. No. For me, it's not that I do it on purpose. I just do it like putting things like organizing or whatever. It's like two, and then I don't think about it and I put it back empty.
Yeah.
No,
there's
no excuse.
That's what it is.
There's also a different type
the question
of person too.
We're gonna say who's more likely to. So what we were thinking before. Yeah. So finish
whatever you're doing, if you're cooking dinner
that's
or anything, who's more likely to like immediately be cleaning it up, like putting things away, taking care of things like immediately?
No, you don't. I'm sorry.
You
want to talk about
divorce papers.
Divorce papers. The stack is going to be this big now. Yeah. Every time you cook, what do I see? Pots and pans. All out there.
Thing that you do at home. No. It's the one at home cleaning the dishes.
Claro.
Honey.
Yeah, but like you're doing everything and then you clean it up at the end.
Exactly.
Claro.
I can't do it.
Claro, no, he needs to be like organizing as he goes, which is great.
You do it as you go.
That's why it takes you 2 million years to boil pasta.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't take you that long. You clean as you go, boo.
Clean as you go.
So this might be a cultural difference. Well, I don't know about the Americans. I don't know, but in Spain, like in my house, in a lot of houses, like you just cook and do all this stuff and. I don't think I know anybody that will be like cooking and cleaning and cooking and cleaning.
That's professional chefs that you see in Carlos Arguiñano. That's the rest of the people. People don't do that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to clean later. That's why.
Jose Andres.
That's for me. I can have all of dinner cooked and on the table and the dishwasher running at the same exact time.
It's very efficient.
Yeah.
But
it is efficient, but it takes forever. That's why. So I don't like when Adam makes breakfast because we have breakfast. It's just too long, and it's like chop.
I know. Chris does it fast.
Yeah.
Chris does it
That's not me cleaning. That's just I am not a morning person. Anytime before 11 is not.
So he goes slow.
So everything is just very
slow.
He's still trying to get your cup of coffee down.
Get some in there.
I need like 2.
What about who is more likely to get in a physical fight?
Tú seguro. Not me.
Yeah.
Wait,
me. Yeah.
I mean, if we have to get to that point.
Yeah.
It's
and you
happen.
said you? For you guys?
Yeah.
Adam will run.
I'll run away. I'm out.
It's like,
I see people doing this. Oh, nope, bye.
But like the thing is that Adam walks around and he has this angry face always. Adam looks like he's gonna beat you up any second.
Yeah.
Like you can see people
RBF.
crossing the street away from Adam.
Yeah.
Especially when he has the beard and like the long hair and stuff. You look like somebody that is, problems.
Yeah.
And I look like Candy,
Yeah.
like I look like I am like Red Riding Hood. But if you wanna look for me, you'll find me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm the same way on the job site. I'm approachable, but most people approach me kind of with caution. It's like, man, you look like you're just angry all the time.
You're serious.
I had a guy that was working for me one time. He's like, "Hey, do you like me?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Do I like you?" He's like, "Oh, you always look like angry." I'm like, "It's just the part of it."
You're like, I actually don't care about you.
Yeah, I really don't care if you like me.
Yeah, it's the RBF.
RBF, yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh yeah.
What is
you know the RBF, Andrea?
Yeah, resting beach face. Oh, Adam is a professional.
I've been perfecting. I was 13.
It's a defense mechanism.
It is, yeah.
It's really I don't want to talk to anybody, and please don't come talk to me. Don't think this smile is inviting you for a conversation.
It's not.
I tend to have like a very straight face, and people think that I'm either angry or I'm thinking something. It's just that's my face. But Adam has like especially his subway face, man.
Yeah, the subway face.
He looks
Don't come up.
Like I don't want to tell you where the Empire State is, bitch. Like,
I'm not the person.
I feel like in there you probably have to have that in the subway. Like that's a good face to have, because you could get taken advantage of, I guess.
Random
probably
people.
pretty quick. I watched this. I've got this instant.
For randoms.
Yeah.
I'm a walking magnet for randoms, crazy people. They just love me. But Adam is like, nobody talks to him, nobody approaches him. He just looks like, don't mess with me.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
You know?
He's not into people, so that works out for him.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah.
So to close it up,
yeah,
we're finishing. I have one last question for you guys. What do you think about us having this podcast?
I think it's awesome. I'm a fan.
That's cool.
I think it's probably a good outlet for you guys in a way for you guys to get together and also, share some of the things that even like we've talked about today with your audience. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good way for you to just get it out.
Mm-hmm.
The good, the
just
bad.
a good thing, Yeah.
There are a lot of people that are like, I got a message yesterday and it was someone saying, I just feel so like you guys. Like there's so many people that feel the same because we're sharing this situation, like you moved to this country where everything's different and this life that is just different than what you've seen before. So they feel very
seen.
But even people that are living in their country, what I hear the most from people is like, it feels like I'm listening to my friends talking.
Yeah.
And I think it's because we had all these talks before. We just decided to record them.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool, just because it can get lonely for us to be here, and especially
I think about how brave you guys have to be to venture off from your home country, away from your family, and to go to a different country. I mean, that you talk about having like metal balls, like that's a big deal. That's the people who do that, and I don't want to get into politics, but I think about the people who are immigrating from a lot of the South American, Venezuela, South American countries that are making the trek up here. People here will look at them and as they're something lower. But imagine if your family here, while you're sitting in the comfortable United States, was in a bad spot, would you be willing to walk thousands of miles and to get to a place to take them to what you think would be a better thing? So it's just the bravery alone for you guys, and then being able to share that with people who can relate. You become a voice to those people. I think it's helping. You're making the world a better place.
No,
and I think that's a good thing.
We're very privileged as immigrants. It's something that I always say. I chose this. I chose to come here, and this was my active choice, coming in a very privileged situation with a visa and all of that. And it still is very hard sometimes. I always told myself, like, imagine doing this when you had no choice but to it was either this or desperation.
No support and no.
And you get on a boat in the middle of the Mediterranean and you wish for the best.
Yeah.
So we're very, very, very lucky. And I think also lucky to have found each other and like have someone that you can call and like share whatever you're going through, and they get it because they are in the exact same context as you are.
It's that thing, between courage and bravery, and to have the courage to get on the boat, to have the bravery to continue knowing it's not going to be an easy path, And I think that's for both of you, and really, for anyone in your audience that has had the courage to take the first step and the bravery to continue knowing it's not going to be the easy path. With a visa, without a visa, whatever that looks like. To me, that's just inspiring in itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you guys for joining us.
This was cool.
Muchas gracias a todos por acompañarnos hoy, por escuchar en inglés. Gracias a todos.
Sí, gracias. Nos vemos pronto.
Adiós.
Bye.
Chao.